What nobody will tell you about Sunday Riley skincare. We're gonna need a cup of this in order to get through what's about to come next. I've been in the skincare industry for over 10 years, and I've seen a lot, both in professional and clinical settings, and also in the influencer world. But at the end of the day, I was a consumer first. I believe that people should have access to brands that both benefit their skin and match their morals and values. So I dig apart what's inside different skincare brands and the ingredients lists to help you make inspired and empowered choices. And Sunday Riley is a skincare brand that has already gotten on the bad side of many consumers' lists, even though they're cruelty-free and seem to have impressive ingredients. Sunday Riley is a brand started in 2009, and it's actually named after the founder. She talked about her dad being a hippie in Texas, and he named her Sunday Riley because it would be good for business. And I guess that's what she went into. Her background is kind of unclear, and she may have lied about her credentials, but I can't personally say that because I was not able to find definitive results, only quotes from other magazines. But essentially, she saw a gap in the market, and she wanted to create what she felt she needed. Their whole philosophy is about being a yes brand, the idea that they don't have a no list of ingredients, but yes, you can have ingredients that transform the way you feel about your face. Or yes, you can have visible and fast results. But what's the story that's actually being told by the ingredients lists and by how the company has been run? Most people don't know this, and a lot of people won't tell you this, but they actually launched a makeup line back in 2011 that failed. I believe that failure is a stepping stone on the way to success, so I don't think that that's absolutely horrible. But at the same time, they don't really want to talk about that experience, which I find interesting, because they had foundations, they had blushes, they had a lot of different products that just didn't make it into the new decade. Now here's the thing, Sunday Riley as a skincare brand is like the friend that you go out to brunch with and she lies directly to your face, because that's basically what happened. There were emails leaked by a Sunday Riley employee on Reddit showing that both the founder, Sunday Riley herself, and other C management, meaning high management authorities within the company, were encouraging and pushing their employees to write fake reviews on Sephora.com. They even went as far as to say, get a private virtual network so that your computer and your IP address can't be tracked and traced back to you, and write like 2 to 3 reviews every single day. Obviously, if you went onto Sephora at that time, you saw great reviews for these products. But if you're like me, you actually purchased a product, such as this one, you opened it up, and it was already expired by the time you got it. There was grody stuff on the inside of the vitamin C cream, and I was not comfortable putting it on my face. I didn't return it, but I was very disappointed. And guess what? So were a lot of other people. Some people really love the brand, and they are formulated with great ingredients such as lactic acid and potent forms of vitamin C and even retinol, like their A+ serum. However, there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that people won't tell you about, and some people had to find out about on their own. Specifically, the Good Genes is one of their most popular products, but when you look at the mini size, you're not actually getting that much product. Specifically, inside of the Good Genes bottle that looks expensive and like it's packaged with glass, there's actually a little plastic piece inside that holds less of the product than you really think there is. Overall, it's a 15 milliliter bottle, which again isn't that much product, but they're charging you a very exorbitant amount of money. And they're making it feel more pricey than it actually is because it's packaged in glass and it feels expensive. And this is not exclusive to Sunday Riley. I think it needs to be called out that other brands do this as well, but a really good YouTube channel called Beauty News actually took this apart to dissect what's inside of it. And it's just disappointing because you are not getting a lot of product, and you can't even get the product out of the bottle even if you're fully pumping down, because that little plastic piece just doesn't allow you to get it out. And if you're wasting 10% of the product, that could be $10 worth. And on top of that, if you don't take the time to manhandle this bottle and yank the inner piece out, you can't even recycle the glass. So it's really just a horrible decision that was obviously money focused, which again goes to show that this brand really doesn't have their customers in mind, at least from my observation. It seems they care more about the overall business profits and making a lot of money for, again, those C-levels who are telling their employees to lie online. By the way, we've done a whole video discussing the Sunday Riley scandal and how the government stepped in and how Sunday Riley had to pay a huge chunk of money so that they didn't get dragged into a formal lawsuit. Fun times. Especially when it comes to my personal experience with the products. The first time that I got the CEO cream was because Beautiful Butterflies on this channel recommended it to me and wanted information about it. And again, the first time I opened it up, it had this yellow KC film on it. And because I understand cosmetic chemistry and I've worked in this industry for so long, I looked at that and I was like, damn girl, this is expired. The expiration date hasn't gone over, but maybe it was exposed to heat in shipping, maybe it sat in a warehouse for a long time, maybe it was exposed to UV light, because UV UV light can penetrate through plastic or through cardboard that it may have been packaged in. Especially since it's such an expensive product, I just kind of felt ripped off. And I went online, and again, no one will tell you this, but there are a few pockets of the internet that other people were having the exact same issue with, which was just overall disappointing, especially if I'm spending 60 to 90 bucks on a product that looks like a lot, but on the inside, there's an internal component, so it's only half as full as it actually looks and feels like it is. The other thing about Sunday Riley herself, the CEO and founder of the line, is that there's not a lot of information on her background, and a lot of people have said that she's lied about being a chemist. I cannot say that definitively because I have not heard it come out of her mouth. A lot of what I see are articles that quote her as being a chemist or a certified formulator. And again, as the CEO of a line, you should be involved in formulation, and that would mean that you're doing chemical work. You're working as a chemist, but it may not mean that you got a 4-year degree or a master's or a PhD in chemistry. And although we know that she's lied about other things, I could not sit here and honestly definitively say that she has. So I want you to take that with a grain of salt. The thing is that I did find some articles online where she said some really questionable things. I'll read you a quote that just screams, "Do you even know what skin is about? Have you even studied this?" The question that was asked to her is, what's the most important thing a person can do if they want great skin? And her answer was, you've got to wash your face. A lot of people don't do that. It's also really important to exfoliate. You could spend $5 billion on the best products in the world, but if it's just sinking into your dead skin cells, it's like, what's the point? This just makes me shake my head and think, have you ever studied anatomy or physiology of the skin? Do you even know biochemistry and how ingredients work in the skin? Many ingredients can penetrate through the outer layer of the epidermis, and there are specific skincare treatments that you would not want to cleanse the skin before or exfoliate the skin before. The most important part of a routine is not cleansing, although it is important overall. The quintessential piece is sunscreen and post-care, from post products to protect your skin. Protection and prevention is easier than treatment. And that's been proven time and time again by not only the validation of my personal experience in skincare, but by medical studies, from dermatologists, from companies who have spent the time and energy to look into and understand these things. And I'm just sitting here shaking my head like, do you really know how this works? But I want to be objective, and on the flip side, make the point that what you learn in a classroom doesn't always prepare you for real life. I can say that my real life experience in skincare and in a laboratory has taught me way more than I have ever learned within the walls of a classroom. I needed that foundational education in a classroom in order to translate what's actually happening into the real world. But a lot of times, people do make it up as they go, and that's how we've had some really great invention, whether it's skincare or even an item like Post-its. So while I can look at her and be like, are you a liar? Are you a dingbat? What's going on? I also have to be kind and objective and say she's obviously taken the time to understand her business and how it works. She obviously works very closely with the plants and the chemicals that she puts into her skincare. Overall, she built a company that's very successful. It started out in Barney's or Bloomingdale's, and now it's in Sephora, and a lot of people buy and love her products. Sunday Riley is a brand that I honestly see as like the soccer mom that you go out to lunch with. It's for that kind of person because the price points are very expensive. It's not something that everything can afford. It's definitely a luxury line. You're paying for the branding, you're paying for the look and for the feel, and hopefully you're getting some good ingredients. Something I really appreciate about the line is that it is cruelty-free. But at the same time, when you look at a lot of the products being expired, when you look at having issues on the internal company side from ethics and values and them having to lie about an acne treatment, my personal history with acne has impacted me so deeply. It's the reason I'm even in this industry in the first place. I am very, very protective over acne sufferers, acne claims, and products that lie to people that, like my 14-year-old self, would spend their entire paycheck to try to buy my way to clear skin. And to know that a company is willing to lie like that and take advantage of someone who's already so vulnerable and hurting disgusts me. So at the end of the day, does Sunday Riley get the CAS pass? Even though they're cruelty-free and even though some of their ingredients are impressive, the answer is a resounding no. It's not okay to lie to your customers like that, especially taking advantage of the most vulnerable population, which is people who are struggling with their skin. I'm not an employee of Sunday Riley, so I can't say that management has treated me badly, but a lot of other employees online have said so. And at the end of the day, they reached out to me as an influencer multiple times to send products, and they never got back to me. I don't care. I can go purchase products on my own. That is my prerogative. But from the influencer perspective, it also kind of looks like they just don't have their shit together. And if you did have your shit together, would you really be lying about reviews and selling products that have gone rancid by the time they get to your customers' hands? Gross. If you want to know more about the truth behind these brands or what nobody else will tell you, post a comment with a brand that you want me to look into. If you learned a little something from this video, make sure that you that like button, and don't forget to whoosh that subscribe button if you haven't already. More videos on the science behind skincare and the Sunday Riley scandal can be found right here, and I cannot wait to see you beautiful butterflies in the next video. Love you guys. Bye.